Hello everybody, welcome back to Terraria. Alright, so the series is going really, really well. We've gathered loads and loads of cool stuff. And just to get you up to speed, I've emptied my pack and started to kind of just tidy up my inventory a little bit. Actually, I might as well put my obsidian skull on. Now, what I'm going to be doing this episode is building a storehouse. So if you take a look around here, we've got like 1 million chests and crafting benches and items and stuff in all of the houses, and it's really disjointed. We have a load of items, but we don't know how much of what we have. Like if I go into Duncan's chest here, I can see, oh cool, we've got some hellstone brick. But I've got some hellstone brick in here, and you can guarantee that in loads of these other chests, there's other amounts of hell brick. And we don't kind of compile all of our stuff, so we never know how much we have. I'm going to fix that by building a storehouse. The storehouse is going to be a nice big building with loads of chests organized by what kind of items they have. So we can have an item chest for metal bars, an item chest for weapons, a chest for armor, a chest for accessories, and so on and so forth. We can split it up really well. But also another thing is, Chippy. I wonder if he's named after Chippy Gaming. Maybe. She's a Christmas elf though, and it's a bit past her time, so yeah, it's not Christmas anymore, but I wonder if she dies. I guess if she dies, she doesn't come back. I better be careful then. If there's a blood moon, I'm going to have to come and protect old Chippy here. Right, so anyway, I'm getting distracted. Last episode, we built a lot of stuff. We got into hard mode. We killed the wall of flesh like 6 or 7 times. And we also began is that how you spell heights? I before E? I don't know. But we also began to build Fisher Heights and Baker Tower. And these are going to be 2 kind of slummy little towers to help us house all of the NPCs that we should be getting. There's a whole load of NPCs that we have here, but we need more space to cram in more dudes. So anyway, that's that. What we're also going to do, though, is bridge this over here. Now, I prepared a space over on the left, and I'll show you the things that I've gathered and prepared in advance. Right, so here we go. Let's take a look in these chests. We've got loads and loads of wall. We've got red brick wall and grey brick wall. We've got red brick and grey brick. And we've got a whole bunch of rich mahogany. Oh yeah, the best wood in the world is what we're going to use to make our warehouse. Also in this chest next to us, I've got some of the more important kind of utilities that we're going to need over here. Like a loom, a sawmill, a safe is super handy. It's 20 gold, so it's not cheap. But it's definitely a worthy investment. We've got some different types of chests. Now these chests are going to be important because you want to sort stuff in a way that makes sense, and putting them in different coloured chests is the best way to assign something with your memory. Like gold chests, that's going to be all the metals. And a mushroom chest, that's going to be where we store all of the plants and the potions. Makes sense, right? Okay, let's continue. We've also got the furnaces, the kegs, some rich mahogany doors. And in the next chest, I just got to dodge this slime. Got a whole bunch. Oh, he's not going for me. Why isn't he going for me? I think maybe because we killed his king. Could be. We've got a whole bunch of furniture here, mostly mahogany, the finest mahogany. And some jars and bottles and things just to decorate the whole place with. We've also got, he just keeps going, doesn't he? We've also got in this final chest some of the dynasty wood and dynasty wall, which is made from dynasty wood, that I prepared earlier. Right, and we've also got a nice big flat space, perfect for our warehouse. What we're going to do though is we're going to first up build a bridge from where we're going to put the warehouse to Baker Tower. Now, one of the weapons that dropped last episode was the Shadow Flame Knife. I didn't know it was that good, but I looked up on what the best melee weapons were, pre-mechanical phase. That's the bit after the Wall of Flesh that we're on now. Check this thing out. I thought a Shadow Flame Knife, it's going to be terrible. It's like a stabby weapon. That must be really bad. But no, watch this. I'm going to waste this slime with it. This thing's crazy! 40 damage, and it drops as well, so nothing can escape the carnage of the Shadow Flame Knife. I feel like I might have become the most powerful member of the crew, but I'm sure it's going to be short-lived because Tom's miniguns are insane. Duncan's summons will pick up speed soon. And Filbert, well, he's a wizard. I guess he's kind of going to be okay eventually. So let's get building. So what we're going to do is we're going to stick with the existing themes that we got. I'm going to use some grey brick wall. Now what we're going to do is we're going to experiment with the grey brick wall. I want to put this behind and see how it looks. Oh, that looks perfect, doesn't it? Now, we might mine out the middle of this so that we can see what's going on, because you see, when there's nothing inside the middle of a structure, it gets really dark and it looks a bit naff. So we're just going to create a nice pillar section to hold this bridge up, and this should hopefully make the thing look quite nice. Oh yeah, now that looks pro as balls. We just need to come over here. Yeah, I like the look of that. Yeah. So what we're going to do now is we're going to add another section over here, which is another pillar similar to the one there, just to give it a bit more stability on this side of things. Okay, and now we can fill the middle of these with these ultra bright torches. I'm not sure how much is overkill here. And hey presto, we have our style of bridge. It's almost complete, but what we're going to need now though is a lot of iron bars, because I want to make some iron fences to complete the look of this bridge. We're going to put down a fence and then a bit of wall and then a fence and then a bit of wall, and we can use the area underneath as a guide for this. That's the bridge complete. I might put some background here because at the moment these little bits here look a bit disjointed and it feels like there should be more behind it to kind of bolster that, but unfortunately we can't put anything in the foreground because this is a bridge that we want to run over. Alright, so now it's time to crack on to the warehouse. Let's set it to daytime and jump in. Now, one of the members of the Terraria forums, a wonderful person called Ghoststar, messaged me after my last build and just said, hey, hang on a sec, I took a look at what you did, and you've got some great ideas, but they've been building in Terraria for a long, long time, and they said to me, would you like some tips and tricks? And I said, yeah, sure. And so they hooked me up with some great tips and tricks that just really kind of have helped me and given me some really good ideas. So to save on some of the wood that we've got, I'm just going to build a 1 layer thick section of Dynasty wood, because we don't want to waste this valuable stuff too much. Man, this rain is causing these weird cloud things to spawn. Angry Nimbus. And I don't mind so much because I think probably they have a chance to drop something pretty sweet, but I don't know yet. And then we're going to put some grey brick wall in the background of those foundations. There we go, and now we have our foundations, we can start to build the actual building. So one of the tricks that was suggested to me was build your building walls 3 thick, because that gives you room to maneuver. And it reminds me of something I used to say in Minecraft, in that, you know, you want to build your buildings there 3 blocks thick, because it gives you a chance to chisel into the building to add detail. But also, especially in Terraria, it makes buildings look much more solid and real. Man, when I see all this red brick, it kind of reminds me of the Sipsco dirt factory. Right, now I could go over to the other side and build up the grey brick, but I want to make sure I get it at the right level. So I'm going to start building the wooden rooftop over this side and just get it to kind of map all the way over that way. And we're going to be using rich mahogany instead of the Dynasty wood, because I want to kind of hold on to that. It's super valuable, and I've got some ideas for how we can make the mahogany wood work. Now with rooftops, it's good to make them nice and thick. So we're going for a 3 thick warehouse rooftop that staggers like this. Then we're just going to bring it out at the sides just to make it thicker. So now it's 4. Perfect. Now we're just going to build the wood over this way. And now when we're over the top of the edge of the red brick, we should be able to build diagonally like this and get it identical and symmetrical to the other side. Now another cool trick is, you see we've used red brick and grey brick here. They look pretty cool. You can use gold brick, but the problem with gold brick is that it costs a lot of gold, which is quite valuable to make. But another idea is to go to the painter, get the yellow paint, and then with the yellow paint, you can paint grey brick into yellow. And suddenly you have almost golden brick. Now, one thing that's really going to speed up my building process is the power of flight. We're going to want to be able to go through both exits in the warehouse, though. And also, I'm going to want to have like a way to get into the top layer as well. So we're going to open up the grey brick where it meets the red brick. And we're going to have like kind of like platforms for kind of, you know, storage kind of cranes. In old warehouses, they often have cranes at the top of the warehouse that can lift up heavy items to drop them off on different levels. And I like the idea of that so much that I want it in this build as well. Now, before we dig out this wall here, I'm going to fill up this entire area here with red brick. Oh, it's starting to look great. It's starting to come together as a build. But before we do anything, we need to structurally think about the building itself now. Where are we going to put the crates? Where are we going to stash the chests that hold all of the important items? Also, are we going to build crates? Because I forgot about this, but I've seen them in a few builds, and I'm not quite sure how they're made. But I'm pretty sure we have the materials for it. I want to make some storage crates as decoration. And I've got a sawmill and a workbench over here that I'm pretty sure will have what I need to set that up. Yeah, it looks like I can't build any yet, unfortunately. Or can I? Let's have a look. A blacksmith rack, a loom, carpentry rack. These racks, though, will look really cool and come in really handy. There's no crates here, but we want a functional building before we want anything else. So what we can do is focus on the other elements of the warehouse before we get to the actual decoration and the background crates. Right, so it's time to have a think about the specifics of how we want to build our warehouse. Now, I want to have the bottom layer here is where you're going to have all of the crafting things. So things like a loom, a sawmill, some of the furnaces, you're going to be able to use all of those on this bottom layer here. And then above those, up here, is where we're going to store all of the different chests that have the different materials in. Now, you are going to have to go up from the tools area to get the specific materials, but it shouldn't make it too hard because everything's going to be so well organized, you should have no trouble finding what you need to make your specific recipe. First up, we need some rich mahogany platform. And we'll need a few of these because we want to turn them into staircases as well. And we're going to start with a layer of platforms coming out from where the red brick starts. Perfect. But what we're also going to do is use the mahogany platforms to build a staircase that goes up towards the platform in the middle. What we're going to do is we're going to have a staircase up like this. That looks good to me. And then we're going to come across with the mahogany platform and meet up the platform over here. And now we're going to rip out these platforms and replace them with actual mahogany wood. And that's going to give the build a much more solid feel. As far as a functional building goes, it's much easier to use platforms because you can fall through them whenever you need. But it doesn't quite look as good, I don't think. Yes, excellent! What happens if we hammer this, actually? See what different kind of shapes we can get. And none of these actually look ideal. Okay, and what we're also going to do is we're going to dig a trap over here so that you can actually use a ladder to climb up this side rather than the stairs over the other. Just in case you're over this end and you want to get up quick. There we go. And now we're going to fill up the background layer with the other colour brick, the grey brick wall. Now we're going to try something a bit fancier with the roof. I'm going to build along like this with more mahogany wood to create a kind of like roof space. And we're also going to use some of this mahogany wood to create supports that look like it's holding up the place. Now it is actually super dark in here, especially when it's rainy outside. So I'm going to dig a few holes in the background. Oh no, it doesn't even light the place up that much, does it? We'll have to put in some big windows. I'll have to get some glass and we can do some big windows. But I'm also going to do that platform trick, the mahogany wood trick, to make it look like there's some more support beams on this level as well. But let's put some torches down just to light the place up in the meantime. These torches are cool, but unfortunately I don't think they work with this building's aesthetic. They're very bright, but they're too bright and they're too blue. They look cool on the bridge over here because it gives it this kind of like nefarious blue effect. But I don't think that's a good look for the warehouse. It makes the whole place just look like it's been through the washing machine a few too many times. And we're also going to use the hole that we have here up the top as well, so that people have a way to get into the attic. We might be able to store some things up in the attic too. But for the meantime, I'm just using this as a way for me to get up there and put wooden background into the roofing. Oh, it looks like we're going to have to use rich mahogany wall, but that's not so bad. Now, you always need more wall than you think you do, so we're going to get ourselves 200. There we go, almost perfect. But again, it's too dark to see. I need to get some torches in here and light the place up. So why not just grab the torches that I have, the ones that I want to use in the building, and see what they look like. So we're going to be using candelabras. I've also got some copper chandeliers saved up. Some rich mahogany lamps here too. Let's try those. And also some mahogany candles. So where do the lamps go? The lamps can go on the floor like this. And we can put one either side of the trap, I think, where the ladder's going to be. There we go. Already looking much, much better. But what we're going to try and do as well is put down some copper candelabras in here, because what that lets us do is light up the place without having to confuse the floor, which is where we're going to put some of the workbenches. Probably enough room for one more here. Perfect. And now let's try putting some up here as well. Now, candelabras aren't the kind of thing you'd really see in a warehouse, so it's a bit of an odd one. We're going to get these roughly the correct distance apart. And now it's time to break these ultra bright torches and see what the place looks like. Yeah, okay, it's pretty well lit up. Now let's fill in the background. And now we're going to put in the chests. So the chests are going to be upstairs. This is where all the chests are going to be stored. And it kind of doesn't make much sense to store most of the stuff upstairs and have the tool chests downstairs. But I think that's probably the easier way to do it. People are going to want to use the tools more than they're going to want to go to the chests, maybe. So let's just put a layer of platforms in across here, which is where we're going to stack the chests. Now, first up, we're going to put down the mushroom chest. This is where we're going to put the alchemy supplies. We're also actually going to put platforms over on this side, because what we can do is have this little area here be the potion making area. And we'll have a mushroom chest here for herbs and spices. And next to it, we're going to use a rich mahogany chest just for other things like bottles, sand, glass, and water bottles. Just basically, yeah, just the other little things that we need to make potions. And we can put a kind of like a bottle down here, a crafting bench, and just some little things. And next up over here, we're going to put down the chests just in order. So we're going to put down the blue chests. Why not? They look pretty cool. We're going to put down the golden chests next. Then we're going to put down the purple chests. It's going to be some obsidian chests next. And then we're going to fill up the rest with these fine mahogany chests. There we go. And we have a loose structure for what we're going to put down here. Now, I'm not sure what we're going to put in what yet. But what you can do is you can rename a chest. So we can say this chest, for example, the one on the far left, which is probably the most important one, is going to be ores. So you can run along here and just throw your ores in. And then the one next to it is going to be bars. Now, I know you think I could probably put ores and bars in the same chest, but I'm not sure because there's so many different ores, especially now that we're in hard mode, that I think we're going to need a separate chest for bars. And then likewise, we can have the golden chests be something else. And the wooden chests over here can be for things like wood, bricks, furniture, stuff like that. We can rename these as and when we see fit for whatever we need. But I'll be doing that off camera when I try and go through all the chests that we have and sort out what we got. Excellent! Now we have a ladder that should get us up. Oh, that's perfect. That's so good. And now it's time to put down all of the things down here. Now, what I like to do, and what I've seen a lot of other people do, is put a platform above the crafting bench that they have to put an anvil on. So down goes the workbench, then the anvil goes right on top of that. And then you can use both of these by being very close to them. Now, it's always good to have a furnace next to those as well. And another important thing to have next to a furnace is a hellstone furnace. We're going to need a few more other furnaces as well, so we might leave some area for furnaces there. In fact, what we could even do is build some platforms above the furnaces. And bam, we could put more furnaces on top and stack those furnaces like it's 1999. Like that. Doesn't that look great? We'll leave that there for now, but we'll come back and replace that with better furnaces that we get from other biomes and things in the game. Now we'll need a loom. It's a great way to use cloth. We'll also need the sawmill back. Down goes the loom. We've got a thorium anvil here as well, which we're going to remove this furnace and put the thorium anvil above the regular furnace. Perfect. We've got a keg, but that's more for brewing and doing weird things. So we're going to put that... Oh, I don't know. We could probably get away with putting that over here, actually. And the safe, the crown jewel. But we're going to put the safe upstairs with the other materials. And we're also going to put a piggy bank on top of it. And the finishing touch to make sure people know exactly what they're getting themselves in for. We're going to put a sign outside that says... Warehouse. Perfect. Right, so here we are. Here is the finished warehouse. This place looks like a beast now. We've got mannequins, crates, the safe's gone down. All the chests are in place. I haven't yet sorted things. That's going to take a long, long time. But, you know, something to do. So yeah, we've got some paintings, and the attic is complete as well. I've put the statue advanced crafting bench in there because you don't really need to make stone letter statues very often, and, you know, you might as well have it out of the way. We might move some of these other crafting benches to more specialty buildings. And it looks like we pretty much filled up the place, and we're nowhere near at the cap on how many tools we need to craft stuff. So we might have to add another basement to this warehouse for another room to craft in. Okay, well, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time for some more Terraria. Take care.